Scary. It's really interesting to think back to all the things that seem like so difficult, like finding a production vehicle and just all the little steps you have to go through to get it started up. And now it's just like, I could do that like bang, 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 like no big deal. But when you're first learning it all and everything's new, it's hard.
It's all about, being thrown out there and figuring out, through a hands-on experience how everything works, because, you can't really explain the whole business in theory.
So January and February are very exciting because you get to plan out your entire year, you get to make your goals, you get to decide how much money you want to make. And it's very different than other jobs in that fashion, is that it's just up to you to kind of just go for it.
It's a heck of a lot of work. You're constantly I was working 40-hour weeks in preseason trying to get everything started, which is, a lot.
It was rough. I mean, I definitely put in a lot of hours, but I actually enjoyed it because as a person, I like things that are very challenging. Once I got in there and just started seeing a little bit of my potential, I just grabbed a hold of that and I just kept going.
It was a lot of things I knew I didn't know, and a lot of things I didn't know I didn't know. And it was really stressful first 2 weeks. After the initial stress and like the overwhelming workload, I was able to kind of like set everything, like compartmentalize everything, talk to my coach a bit more, and then from then on I learned a whole lot.
It was rough, very rough, but the summer panned out. It picked up fast, but the early months were rough.
Once you actually have to start production, you're in a constant state of exhaustion and you're stressed all the time. My friends thought I was crazy because I love my job, and then I'd go home and like cry every night because I just didn't have time to do everything.
Definitely a big roller coaster. Tons of learning, trying new things, failing at them, trying it again, failing again, and then finally to succeed. It's kind of a big adrenaline rush.
It's pretty intimidating. There's just a lot of things that you have done precisely 0 times. So it's overwhelming. But you do have, the great thing about it is you have a support network of a whole bunch of other entrepreneurs doing the same thing as you. You really get a sense of camaraderie, almost a brotherhood, if you will.
Pretty nervous when first starting. I think majority of the people were. But just knowing I'm not the only person going through it, there's other rookies doing it as well. And then there's just constant support from your GM.
I struggled a little bit in the beginning, but I had a lot of help from my coaches and from like previous college pro entrepreneurs that helped me out a lot. And although it was a slow process, it really did work in the end.
So many hours spent working, but yeah, that was kind of the start. But once you get settled in, your GM's always there to help you out whenever you have any questions and things like that. So it was crazy, but it was manageable.
It was rough. There was a lot of work that went in to try to keep my painters busy as much as possible. But it was fun. I mean, looking back on it, I wouldn't have chose it to be any differently because it kind of just kicked me in the face. And then you always look back and say, well, I'm better for it. Afterwards, right? You're not thinking that during, right?